It happened while the city slept. A family home in Manoa turned into a slaughterhouse before dawn. A wife, 3 children, betrayed not by a stranger, but by the man they trusted most. Paris Oda, a father, a husband, a killer. At 2 a.m. the screams began, loud enough to break the night, but not loud enough to save them. Behind the locked door, blood seeped under the cracks, carrying with it a final message. No one was getting out alive. By the time the police forced their way inside, it was too late. 5 bodies, and a house drenched in silence colder than death. Pause once. This is not a horror story. This is real. Welcome to the final night of the Oda family.
Before the blood, before the screams, there was laughter. In the quiet neighborhood of Manoa, the Oda family lived a life that seemed almost perfect. Paris Oda, a chiropractor, a father of 3, known to neighbors as a kind, devoted man. His wife, Naoko, with her gentle smile. And their children, Sarako, Orion, Nana. Bright sparks of life, dreams, and innocence. They were the kind of family you'd wave to in the mornings, the kind you believed nothing bad could ever touch. Every Christmas, their house glowed with lights. Every weekend, laughter spilled from their backyard. But smiles can hide secrets, and sometimes, the darkest storms brew in the calmest skies. As the months passed, small cracks began to show. Cracks no one noticed until it was far, far too late. But behind the smiles and polite waves, something darker had begun to take root. The bills kept piling up. Taxes, loans. Every month, Paris Oda fell a little further behind. His once thriving chiropractic clinic now sat half empty. The pandemic had choked business dry. Patients stopped coming. Debts tightened around his neck like a noose. Paris tried to fight it. He drove for Uber late into the night, sold personal belongings online, even considered selling the family home. But it was never enough. Lawsuits arrived, thick envelopes marked with final warnings. The office landlord sued for tens of thousands. State taxes loomed unpaid. The walls were closing in, and no matter how hard he pushed, he couldn't stop the inevitable collapse. Pride kept him silent. Fear kept him trapped. At home, Naoko urged him to stay strong. "We can start over," she said. "We can move to Japan, rebuild." But Paris wasn't listening anymore. His dreams were already buried under mountains of unpaid debt. So his family would be too.
It was time. No more pretending. No more struggling against the inevitable. I picked up the knife from the kitchen counter. Felt heavier than I remembered. My heart didn't race. My hands didn't tremble. This was duty, not madness. They were asleep, so peaceful, so unaware. Sakurako first. She opened her eyes as I raised the blade. The betrayal on her face. It almost stopped me. Almost. The blade sank into her chest. Warmth spilled across my hand. Her lips moved, but I didn't listen. I had promises to keep. Next was Orion. He whimpered. I told him it would be quick. I lied. Nana. Poor Nana. She didn't even cry. Just stared at me with those wide, broken eyes. As the knife found her too, Naoko fought. She clawed and kicked, screaming my name like it still meant something. I silenced her the only way I knew how. When the house finally fell still, when the last breath faded into the walls, I sat down among them. Their blood soaked into my skin. Their lives bled into the cracks of the floor. I had freed them from the shame, the failure, the slow, suffocating collapse. I closed my eyes, the knife still warm in my hand. There was only one thing left to do. The house was silent now, only the clock ticking, somewhere in the dark. I sat among them, among what I had done. Their blood soaked the floor, my hands, my clothes, My soul. Pause. There was no going back. No forgiveness. I had taken everything that mattered, and now there was nothing left to lose. I thought about leaving, about running, but where would I go? Guilt follows. Shame devours. There is no escape. I picked up the second blade. The cold steel kissed my throat. I welcomed it, the same way I had welcomed despair. I closed my eyes, thought of better days, laughter around the dinner table, tiny hands holding mine. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Forgive me. In the house where laughter once lived, now silence rots between broken walls. Dreams, shattered like glass, scattered beneath cold, forgotten beds. The hands that once held promises now stain the floor in crimson regret. No prayers reach this place. No forgiveness echoes through these halls. Only the whisper of a man who loved, who failed, and who, in the end, destroyed the very things he tried to save. And so the Oda house stands still, frozen in a night that never truly ended.